Guys, after subscribing to this channel, please make sure that you also press the bell icon so that no notification, no new video of mine, any educational video, is missed by anybody.
Okay. So welcome one and all to this class. I always enjoy these classes of question answer round. The question papers that have come in your exams, I have been making those answers since a really long time now. And since I'm also venturing out into the other realms of obstetrics and gynecology, which I'll be disclosing in some time to come, I need more people on board with me. Two of my students have joined recently, and I'm pretty happy with their work. And I hope that I would give them some, place in my little family to, take over and delegate some work on my behalf. And I hope that this bond stays for a really long time in all my ventures to come. I'm looking forward to sincerity. I'm looking forward to, feeling of your own, and of course a very deep interest in teaching, so that how you can make your own fundas, your own mnemonics, make the class easy and fun for my students, make the notes beautiful, authentic notes from resourceful books. Okay, and always mention from now onwards, whatever notes you're going to see, even for me, I would be mentioning down the source of those notes as well. That's what I'm going to be doing. The revamp which I'm going to do very soon of all my notes, that will see the source also written over there, right? So now, without wasting any further time, let's begin to discuss the questions of paper 1, DNB diploma, which was recently conducted in December 2020 or 2023. So the first question, see, now the problem is with this, these are recall questions. The official paper still, as you know, has not been put up by the DNB on their site. Even the October question paper is recently put up on the site, which is very, very, not expected out of DNB, but still, yeah. So what answers I have made is basically from the recall questions. This is also the same thing, so therefore you will not be able to see marks. What I've done is basically, though, I have tried to take as 5 marks questions, most of them, right? So let's go forward and discuss them. Certain questions in which I found that the material is too much to be asked only for a 5-mark question, I have put in all the material possible so that you don't have to waste your time in searching the material. If I write down concise answers, you'll have to, search elsewhere. If I write big answers, the material will find within that as well. And plus, it's not confusing. As I always say, the headings are very, very important. So mind the headings, everybody, because what finally counts in your examination paper is, the headings finally. The examiner goes like this, reading it like vertically. They don't listen and read every line and every sentence that you've written. Certain punch words, certain code words, certain buzzwords are essential. Otherwise, it looks like an essay, correct? So now they're asking about hematological changes in anemia. Okay, so what happens in pregnancy? What happens in anemia? See, if you just think about it physiologically, what happens in anemia is basically there is one thing is called as dilutional anemia. There is something called as pathological anemia. So basically, what you are having in anemia is that the blood volume is increasing 40-45%, specifically in the early pregnancy, right? And reaches maximum around 32 to 34 weeks. And the blood volume, it obviously, because it's varying in different pregnancy or different patients, this blood volume is increasing more in proportional to the RBC volume or the RBCs per se. So they are increasing, let's say, by 30-35%, and the blood volume is increasing by 40-45%. As a result of which, there is dilutional anemia, as it is in all females. Apart from that, specifically in the ones who are having anemia in pregnancy, they have erythropoietin level is raised. So there is erythroid hyperplasia in the bone marrow, correct? To a certain extent, patients who are having anemia, they would also show leukocytosis, right? And you will see more in terms of granulocytes and lymphocytes. They're significantly raised, though pregnancy is basically an immunologically depleted state. But you would find leukocytosis a little more, as you know, in pregnancy. Like we say, 11,000 becomes the norm, or it's even normal in pregnancy. But usually, the granulocytes and everything, they increase in the third trimester, not in the first and second trimester. And hematologically, you can also obviously mention about the blood coagulation factors, pregnancy being a hypercoagulable state. So there is, most clotting factors, they increase, and anticoagulants and fibrinolytic activity basically decreases in pregnancy. So PT, APTT, they fall slightly. Okay, bleeding, clotting time mostly are unchanged. And obviously, because of the rise in fibrinogen globulin levels, there is a reduction in the significant rise. There should be more viscosity, right? It should not be reduced. ESR also increased 3 to 4 times. Yeah, the viscosity of blood, yes, you can say to a certain extent, yes. Why I'm saying that is because you've got dilutional anemia, because you've got more of blood plasma. So due to a significant rise in fibrinogen and globulin levels and reduction in blood viscosity, there is ESR that increases. Yes, of course. The blood viscosity increases to a certain extent because it's hypercoagulable state, but it's compensated because of the increase in blood volume. So basically, the ESR increases 3 to 4 times. So these are certain hematological derangements, you can say, in anemia. Correct? Then this question has been asked, Anemia Mukt Bharat has been asked so many times, So what I'm trying to say is that you have to remember this program definitely. What I've tried to put down over here, see, it's a huge, this long. So I've put it down in headings. I hope that you will be able to understand. Basically, Anemia Mukt Bharat is an intensified iron initiative, and that's strengthening the existing mechanism and faster new strategies to tackling anemia, as the name suggests, Anemia Mukt Bharat, right? So basically, it's hitting the population at different levels. So it's a composed of 6 interventions. Until unless you write that, you'll not get marks. So there is a composed of 6 interventions. Prophylactic and iron folic acid supplementation that starts right from school-age children. Deworming, again, school-age children. Intensified year-round behavior change communication campaign, including delayed cord clamping in newborns, that is at the level of reproductive females. Testing of anemia, mandatory provision of iron folic acid, fortified foods in the government funded health program, and of course addressing the non-nutritional causes of anemia if there is at all any because of that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Correct. So we start with prophylactic iron folic acid supplementation. So it's a key intervention. So you start it right at the time of schools or very early adolescent and women of reproductive age. You're giving it to children. You're giving it to children. See, you're giving it to children, adolescents, and to the reproductive age women. Whether she has anemia or she doesn't have anemia, you're just giving her iron folic acid. Then biannual mass deworming of children in the age groups between 1 and 19 years is carried out on designated dates 10th February, 10th August every year under National Deworming Day program. I hope you remember the dates, 10th February and 10th August. So it's basically biannual mass deworming. This is all coming under anemia. Intensified year-round behavior change communication campaign. So basically here you will have various behavior change communication activities like compliance to folic acid supplementations, deworming, increase in the iron-rich food, vitamin C-rich food, promoting the practice of daily. Basically, you are trying to tell them, you're trying to educate them that there are multiple ways in which you can intensify your iron stores in your body, right from the time of delayed cord clamping to food fortification to iron and folic acid tablets to deworming. And then, of course, to the gynecologist and the reproductive age female of having a proper nutrition and special focus on malaria and hemoglobinopathies. Correct. Then you treat the anemia with focus on pregnant women and school-going adults. This was, the primary grade, in which there is no loss, of let's say iron, or there is no frank anemia, but you're just helping out. Prophylactically, you were helping. But here, now you're treating. She already has anemia. So screening and testing of anemia is very important. And how do you test that? Because with a very simple Sally's method. All right. And the ones who are found anemic, they're being treated as well. Now, mandatory provision of iron and folic acid fortified foods in government funded health program. So you have, whenever you have government funded schools, government funded programs, she's getting, or the children are getting iron and folic acid fortified. Then, of course, you have to intensify the awareness of screening, intensify the awareness of treatment of what non-nutritional causes of anemia. So, if there is non-nutritional causes, that means maybe there is malaria because of which she's having anemia, maybe there is a lot of worm infestation that she's having anemia, or she's just having maybe a lot of fluorosis or some other hemoglobinopathies because of which she's having anemia, and you're trying to target all of them. Correct? So, basically, this much if you write for a 5-mark question, I mean, it's too much. At least these, though, you do. Correct? Let me see if I can put a different bullet. Yeah.